Hello there. Today I thought I would chat with you shortly about how to stretch pain-free. Because yes, it's possible. We all know that we train hard and then the next day, or even worse, the day after the next day, even just a warm-up routine feels like a torture. And today I would want to share with you a few tips because I didn't know I had an answer to this until I started to teach yoga classes at a local CrossFit box. And so today, 3 tips as to how to go about stretching without pain. Now, first off, let's get it just out of the way. Why would you even want to stretch if even pain might be involved? So first off, the no-brainer, stretching reduces the accumulated lactic acid, which is the thing that actually makes you feel sore and tight in your muscles. Meaning stretching helps you to speed up your recovery. Classic. The second reason might be more interesting, and that is with stretching, you improve your flexibility. With improved flexibility, you have a better range of motion. And with a better range of motion, you will have easier time to nail your technique. And who wouldn't want to do that, right? So let's get into the tips, shall we? First, you do want to start with dynamic stretches. You do not want to go cold into static stretches. That's the worst scenario that you can go for. Start with dynamic. Ease into the tightness, okay? Few dynamic stretches allow you to move through 2 positions and allow you to start noticing where the tight spots are, where the stiffness is. And at the same time, the dynamic stretch allows you to warm up gently your muscles. Why? You don't want to be stretching cold. That's not a good idea. You risk to actually damage your muscles. On the other extreme though, just a little side note, you also don't want to be stretching too warm, like stretching right after your workout or stretching, for example, using your hot yoga practice as your form of stretching. You do want to be careful there because you risk to actually overstretch precisely because your muscles are so warm. You might actually go a little bit too far in your range of motion and actually create a little bit of damage to your soft tissues like tendons. You might sprain your joint, so careful there as well, but not too cold, not too warm either. Start with dynamic, warm up and find your tight spots. Then what you want to do then, tip number 2, you want to start recognizing the difference between discomfort and pain. Because yes, of course, stretching will be uncomfortable. That's by default, especially if we have trained and there is tightness, there is soreness. So discomfort, that's something that we have to deal with. However, it doesn't have to be painful. And so I want you to think of this difference as a spectrum. On the one side of the spectrum at 0, you would have no pain, no discomfort. And as you gradually progress to 10, 10 being really sharp pain, pins and needles, sharp pain inside of your joints, that's the opposite extreme. And that's where you at all don't want to go. You want to stop yourself on the progression through the increasing discomfort somewhere around 7, maximum 8, but don't go anywhere beyond that towards pain. And with this distinction, you actually have the key as to how to stretch without pain, because let's back up. Once again, you're starting your stretching routine with dynamic stretches. You're moving through the dynamic stretches in between 2 different positions. You're probably doing like a few of those, so it's not just like one dynamic stretch. And as you do those, pay attention to the sensations. Pay attention where the tightness is. Pay attention where that, this is difficult. And then with the awareness of difference between discomfort and pain, you come back again to those tight spots in more static stretches. And either you choose a static stretch that targets specifically that tight spot that you felt in your dynamic stretch, or you simply use that dynamic stretch, and where you felt that tight spot, that's where you stay. And you basically make it a static one. And you stay in that one tight spot, in that static stretch, for say 3 to 5 breaths. Paying close attention again to the level of discomfort, paying close attention to the sensations. Is it starting to feel sharp, like pain? And at the end of 3 to 5 breaths, you check in and you see, do you want to stay a little longer, or do you need to adjust the position? Do you maybe need to go a little bit deeper into the stretch? Maybe do you need to back off a little bit? And then you stay maybe for another 3 to 5 breaths. And this is how you gradually can progress, potentially deeper into the stretch, really improve your flexibility. And before you know it, you're in that one static stretch easily for 1 minute, simply by counting the breaths. Again, a little parenthesis here. Breathing is actually super important. There is something that physiologically really happens in the muscles with the breath, that it helps them to stretch. So that's like a totally another subject that I don't want to go into detail right now, but use your breath. Again, it's really going to help with the stretch and therefore then flexibility. And second, it's going to help you to anchor your mind somewhere, that it's not going to be this torturous, oh my God, how much longer do I have to stay here? Like, no, you will be counting your breaths. And that so much helps just to, sustain through. And as I said, before you know it, you're in the stretch for 1 minute, maybe even 2. And that's where you're really actually getting your results. And let me just say that, yes, you will be uncomfortable, especially as you will be exploring, your limits. However, you don't have to be in pain. And that's where with these 3 steps, you will actually be able to stop yourself from forcing. You will be able to stop yourself before that discomfort translates actually into that sharp sensation of pain. So this way you're setting yourself up for stretching safely, effectively, and without pain. So that's it for today. 3 quick tips how to stretch without pain. Thank you for tuning into this one, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Have a great day.